The final battle between Daredevil and Muse occurs during the day in Heather Glenn's office. As a result, it is rather uncommon to see Matt Murdock in the MCU wearing his costume while it is still light outside. It only occurred once before, with the brief appearance of the Man Without Fear in the She-Hulk, Attorney-at-Law season finale, after the threat had passed, due to Jennifer Walters' big breaching of the fourth wall and going full meta. It turns out that Muse's true name is Bastian Cooper, a troubled young man who was repeatedly committed against his will by his parents. This is a significant departure from the comics Muse, who was a superhuman Inhuman on the page, with a secret identity and past that Marvel Comics purposefully kept a secret. Nevertheless, Bastian Cooper's mask and costume as Muse, his sinister creative abilities, and his unsettling penchant for painting with his victim's blood are all identical to those in the original comics. It turns out that Muse's true name is Bastian Cooper, a troubled young man who was repeatedly committed against his will by his parents. This is a significant departure from the comics Muse, who was a superhuman Inhuman on the page, with a secret identity and past that Marvel Comics purposefully kept a secret. Nevertheless, Bastian Cooper's mask and costume as Muse, his sinister creative abilities, and his unsettling penchant for painting with his victim's blood are all identical to those in the original comics. Fisk informs Detective Powell and his other cops that they are the thin, dark line, entrusted with defending New York City, and he wants his new anti-vigilante task team to track down Muse and possibly defeat Daredevil in the process. This relates to real-life attitudes and the contentious thin blue line flag. Although the thin blue line flag and related symbols, such as the Punisher's skull emblem, were initially meant to represent support for law enforcement, some groups have abused the flag to convey a variety of harmful viewpoints, leading to the flag's prohibition by several police agencies. In the 7th episode of Daredevil, Born Again, Heather Glenn kills Muse. In the comics, Muse was also killed by Blind Spot, a vigilante who was possessed by the Beast of the Hand, a sinister otherworldly creature, rather than by Daredevil. However, just before his death ended his journey, Muse expressed similar feelings about how much he wanted to be noticed and recognized by the public in both circumstances. At the conclusion of the 7th episode of Daredevil, Born Again, Mayor Fisk is seen dining at Bamonte's in New York. One of Brooklyn's oldest Italian eateries, Bamonte's is notable for its historical connections to the Five Families and the real-life mob. As a result, it's pretty appropriate that Fisk sets up a trap and kills Luca, who attempted to work with Vanessa to have Fisk killed. Fisk attests that Daredevil destroyed the Kingpin's whole corporate infrastructure, which had taken 10 years to construct, after his alleged unjust arrest. At the conclusion of Daredevil Season 3, Fisk gets arrested. But it appears that Murdock didn't stop there. He methodically targeted every aspect of Fisk's business and his employees, forcing Fisk to start over in the years that followed and establish a new company from the bottom up. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more videos.